A sombre morning, punctuated by the drizzly skies, the mood befitting of the start of an inquiry that will investigate the mental health deaths of patients in Essex over a 23-year period. Melanie Leahy, whose son Matthew died in 2012, has been one of the leading campaigners fighting for this inquiry. How are you feeling this morning?
I don't know how to explain how I feel, really. A big pit in my stomach at the moment.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, I just put a picture down in the crowd there of all the deceased of my son. It was like putting a wreath down on the pavement.
At 11 a.m, the chair opened proceedings with the damning admission that the deaths she's investigating are only the tip of the iceberg.
I find it shocking that we may never be able to say for sure how many people died within the remit of this inquiry. What I can tell you now is that the number of deaths in scope will be significantly in excess of the 2,000 that were being considered by the inquiry during its non-statutory phase.
These are some of the 2,000 patients that we do know about. Their stories will be heard and told by their family and friends. The first inquiry didn't have statutory powers to compel witnesses to give evidence. This one does. And for Stuart Ringer, who was a carer for his friend Gosha, who died in 2018, he hopes this will mean he will finally get answers.
I think as family or friends and families, we'd all like some kind of closure. We all feel that the job that was done by the Mental Health Trust was inadequate would be an understatement.
What happened in the last days of Gosha's life?
Well, the compassion that she was being treated with in that final meeting was clearly lacking, and within the meeting she started to self-harm. She had substance abuse issues, and
Stuart, it's so hard. I'm so sorry.
I didn't wake up.
In 2022, Channel 4 Dispatches programme went undercover in Essex Partnership University Trust and found that vulnerable mental health patients still weren't getting the care they deserved. The reporting was mentioned by the counsel of the inquiry. The Lampard inquiry has been a long time coming for bereaved family members and friends who've long campaigned for justice. At the heart of it is the experience of mental health patients who have died when they were meant to be in the best possible place to get care. And what's been clear in these opening statements today is that what's happened in Essex could be happening elsewhere in the country.
This is the first ever public inquiry that is looking at mental health services. So whilst this is a spotlight on Essex, there will of course be very significant learning for mental health services across the country.
While the inquiry started today, leaked messages at the weekend added to an already difficult time for the bereaved. The Telegraph reported that Nadine Dorries, who was a health minister at the time, tried to stop a full statutory inquiry from taking place.
This inquiry could have started 5 years ago. What would I like to say to Nadine Dorries? I don't think you'd like to hear that.
Nadine Dorries told us in a statement, "I fought for that inquiry to be put in place. I'm proud of my record of achievement as a health minister during COVID." She goes on to say, "I spoke to all parents individually in accordance with their own wishes." We asked Essex Partnership University Trust for comment about the start of the inquiry. They said, "We know how painful this time will be for the families. Our thoughts are with them." This is only the beginning. Next week, commemorative statements will be read. The inquiry is set to last until 2026.
Aisha Tull reporting, and if you've been affected by any of the issues in that report, you can seek help by going to channel4.com/support.